What's up, travellers? Welcome back to the channel. As J Aviation HQ here, welcome back to the channel today. Today we have the model review of this Delta Airlines Airbus A350-900 wearing the 100-year anniversary delivery released by Panda Models in Winter scale. But of course, before we go any further into today's video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up below. Great indication of how much you enjoyed today's video and of course the content here on this channel. I want to come along and tune into more content like this, including the likes of the unboxing videos that will be coming up later in the year, and of course more model reviews like this, and of course airport updates and potential live streams. Go ahead and subscribe below while you're there. Ding the bell icon next to it, and while you of course receive the notifications as soon as those videos go live onto the channel. Great array of content coming up very soon. Cannot wait to share it for you guys, and come along and support me if you wish to. This model here arrived into my collection via an unboxing that I uploaded a couple of weeks ago, or recently on the channel. Go ahead and check it out, top right corner right about now. As of course the Delta Airlines A350-900 and the 100-year anniversary livery. This one here was released in Panda Models' March 2025 release, alongside some very nice other models. I believe the Qantas 321 XLR was also in this release that came alongside this one. So very cool indeed, and you can see the box is looking very nice. We have a closer look at that soon enough on the video. Before that, I'm going to read out some information about Delta Airlines as an airline, and then some information about this particular airframe that we're looking at today. So founded on March the 2nd, 1925 and commencing operations on July the 17th of 1929, Delta Airlines is a major airline within the United States of America, headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia, with Atlanta Hartsfield International Airport being the airline's major airport hub, with Boston, Minneapolis, Detroit, New York JFK, LaGuardia, Los Angeles, Salt Lake City, and Seattle Tacoma International Airports all being their other operational airport hubs, to which they operate to some 325 destinations in 52 countries across 6 continents. According to planespotters.net, Delta Airlines has an aircraft fleet consisting of 990 aircraft, including 38 of the Airbus A350 wide bodies, all of them being of the 900 variant. Delta Airlines also has an order of 20 Airbus A350-900 soon to be delivered into their fleet. On June the 22nd of the year 2000, Delta Airlines was one of the 4 founding members of the SkyTeam Airline Alliance, alongside Air Mexico, Air France, and KLM. Sorry, not KLM, Korean Air, my bad. So those founding members were Delta Airlines, Air Mexico, Air France, and Korean Air. So going into some information about this particular airframe for you guys now. This aircraft's MSN number, or manufacturer serial number, is 720. This aircraft here is a 6-month-old Airbus A350-900, particularly a 941, as you can see stated on the box there. Because 41 is the Airbus designated code for Airbus built aircraft that are equipped with Rolls-Royce engines. This aircraft performed its first flight on February the 20th of 2025, so this year, wearing the registration of Foxtrot-Whiskey Zulu November Kilo, or for those that aren't too familiar with the phonetic alphabet, that would be F-WZNK, of course that being the test registration before it was officially delivered to the airline. And this aircraft performed its first flight and was built and produced in Toulouse, France, one of the 2 main plants within the building of, or within Airbus's production lines, because Toulouse is basically where the wide bodies are built. Of course, the 330 Neo family and the 350 family, being the 1000 and the 900. Hamburg, Germany is another one. I think it's Finkenwater, I believe it is, in Hamburg, very close to the main international airport. That's basically where the narrow bodies are being built. Of course, the 380 Super Jumbo used to be produced in Hamburg, I believe. I believe the Beluga, I believe, is also operational there. But of course, the 321 XLR variants and the LR variants, and in general, narrow bodies in general, are mainly built at the Hamburg plant, but Toulouse is the main one for you guys in France. And this aircraft is currently active on the network for Delta Airlines. We're in the registration of November 527 Delta November. This aircraft here was delivered to Delta Airlines on March the 25th of 2025. equipped with two Rolls-Royce Trent XWB-84 engines. And this aircraft here, as you can see, is painted into the 100-year anniversary livery, of course, special livery, of course, for its ferry between Toulouse and Atlanta, Georgia, USA on March the 28th of 2025 for its delivery flight. And it entered into service on May the 1st of 2025, so of course this year. This aircraft is one of two aircraft in the Delta fleet wearing this livery, because the other one being the 321neo. I'll put a picture on the screen right about now for you guys to show what that looks like. It's very, very nice livery. I do like this livery on the Delta Airlines aircraft, both of them that are on this on the aircraft, the 321neo and of course the 350. This is of course the one I'm showing you guys today. I would like to see this aircraft, the special livery on a 330neo. I think that would look quite nice on the 350-900 neo. I would of course go ahead and get a model of it. I am needing some more of those A330 neos in my collection, so I definitely am quite a fan of them, even though the Royal aircraft supposedly of the 330 neo is of course the 787. And of course, if everyone knows me by now, the 787 is my favorite aircraft. I am quite a nerd in terms of the 787 Dreamliner. But anyway, going back to this review for you guys, that was the reading out of the aircraft and the airline itself. Let's go ahead and check out this very beautiful box. So as you can see, very nice looking box. I do like all of the prism-like designing on the top of the box. It continues on the side panels and of course the back of the box as well. Anyway, here we have on the top of the box, we can see the Airbus A350-900 text here in the Airbus font, looking wonderful, wonderful indeed. Here we have the Delta Airlines 350-900 wearing this absolutely gorgeous centennial livery. Very nice indeed. Probably the first time I've ever seen the widget logo on the tail for that. That doesn't include the color red for some reason. Not too sure, but it does fit this livery quite nice. Very cool indeed. Moving along, we have this Delta Airlines logo right here, and of course the scale of the aircraft, 1:1 scale die-cast model. And of course over here in the bottom right corner we have the registration of the aircraft, November 527 Delta November. On the bottom panel of the box we can see the specific aircraft type there, the 350-941 Delta in the November 527 Delta November. Here we have the 100 years logo for Delta Airlines here, and of course here we have the 2D rendering of the aircraft here. And here on the bottom corner we see the item number of this model, of course 62507. Do apologies if you can hear any of the traffic in the background. It's just one of those things of living next to the main highway. Anyway, moving along on this panel here, we can see the Airbus 350-900 titles here in the Airbus font, and of course the Delta Airlines logo there without the widget logo. And of course here it shows that it is a 1:1 scale die-cast model. Here on the bottom panel it's identical to the opposite side with of course the aircraft type, the airline and the registration, the 100 years logo there, the 2D rendering of the aircraft and the item number, looking wonderful as ever. And on the back panel we can see that's the same kind of prism widget type detailing here that was seen on the top of the box. Only difference is that it has the aircraft type right in the smack bang of the box. Not too sure what that is, but anyway. And of course the Airbus font, and of course in the blue text there. Here on the bottom left we have the warning information in English and of course Chinese language there. And of course this model was made in China. Very cool. Similar to the box that was seen in the review of the Singapore Airlines 350-900 ULR that was also released by Panda Models. Go ahead and check it out if you missed it out on it in the top right corner right about now. That is this portion of the video done for you guys, the reading out of the airline, the aircraft, and of course the showcasing of the box. So let's go ahead and check out the model. And here is the absolutely stunning Delta Airlines 350-900 wearing this absolutely stunning 100-year anniversary livery. Of course, released by Panda Models in their March of 2025 release, of course, earlier on this year. Now, in this portion of the video, I'm going to showcase the model up close to the camera for you guys, giving you some nice up close shot of the model, and of course showing the different details on the aircraft as well. Whilst doing so, of course, I'll give you some insights about what some of those components do in terms of a flight. So let's go ahead and dive in straight into the review of the model. So of course, first and foremost, zooming straight in to the model. Of course, we've got some nice light coming on to the airport at the moment, so hopefully we get some nice focusing shots. Here we have the front of the aircraft, and of course the aircraft itself looking absolutely fantastic indeed. Love, love, love this livery. As I mentioned, it would look quite nice on the 330neo fleet, or a particular 330neo. I would hope that happens from Delta Airlines, as I would jump on board and get that model straight away. Anyway, here we have the front portion of the aircraft, nicely detailed nose cone here. Inside that would be the weather radar, a component that is used to detect storms along the flight path of a flight, to give the pilots a visual indication of the rainfall intensity or any dangerous weather ahead of them. Whether of course is the intensity of the rain ahead of them, or the possibility of turbulence as well. This enables them to decide whether they are to navigate around any of the dangerous parts of the flight plan that they have assigned for their flight. So very cool. Here we have the raccoon mask surrounding the cockpit windows here. The raccoon mask is there, I believe, to deflect any of the heat away from the outside of the windows there. So very cool. Of course, the window wipers are in there as well. Let's try and get a focus on them. There you go. Here we have some details here at the top. Let's try and get a focus on this. There we go. At the top we have what is known as the static vent, and the static vent being inside that red outline in there. Below that we have the pitot tube. The pitot tube is there to measure fluid flow velocity during a flight. The second one from the bottom is the AOA sensor there. The AOA sensor, or the angle of attack sensor, is there to offer a visual indication of the amount of lift the wings are generating at a given airspeed or angle of bank. And below that is that little dot at the bottom there is the icing generator, the icing detector, my bad. That of course is there, much like the weather radar, it is there to detect icy conditions, of course to automate any of the systems on board to combat icy conditions. So very cool. Here we have the nose gear. Very nicely detailed nose gear from this Panda Models aircraft. Of course, if you did miss out on the Singapore Airlines 350-900 ULR, go ahead, check it out, top right corner right about now. If I have alluded to that earlier on in the video, there'll be a link leading to that video in the description below as well. Here we have 3527. Of course, I believe this is the fleet number of this aircraft. The 35 is to signify that this is a 350, and of course 527 are the three numbers that are in this registration. Of course, November 527 Delta November is the registration of this aircraft. So very cool. At the top left of this L1 boarding door here is the SkyTeam logo. I believe they were a founding member of the SkyTeam Alliance, so very cool. In my opinion, probably my favourite alliance in terms of livery design. Otherwise, I think Star Alliance would probably have to go be my favourite alliance, as of course my national carrier is part of it, and Singapore Airlines, my favourite carrier in the world at the moment, is part of that as well. And my favourite US carrier in terms of United Airlines is also in there as well. So I mean, got to go with my gut there and go for the Star Alliance there. Let me know in the comment section below what your favourite alliance is, whether it is SkyTeam, Star Alliance or One World. Let me know, and of course why. Here we have the L1 boarding door, one of the first boarding doors on this aircraft, one of the main doors as well. Here we have the Delta Airlines logo here, and of course the red widget there with a bit of some dust there on it. So there we go, looking pretty good. Here we have the 100-year logo there, looking rather nice indeed. Let's try and get a close-up shot and a focusing on it. There we go, looking rather nice. I do like the integrated silver widget logo there, very cool. On the top of the fuselage we can make out the beacon light there, looking rather cool. And then we have the first of the antenna. On the bottom we have an antenna just here as well. And just there below the word years there is the pedostatic system that of course is used to determine an aircraft's airspeed, Mach number, altitude and altitude trend, whether that is the climb rate or the descent rate, and of course the vertical speed as well. Here we have the other one of the main boarding doors on this aircraft, the L2 boarding door, very cool. Of course the letter L is there to represent the word left, as of course this is the left hand side of the aircraft. Right there to the bottom right of the number 1 and just above the Y in years is the wing light. That of course is there to illuminate or light up the wing here when operating during night operation. So very cool. Here we have in the middle of the shot we can make out the landing light, the one that is mounted into the wing, because there also would be one at the nose wheel as well. Of course there isn't one because it of course is a model aircraft anyway. Because here we have the one on the wing. Now this is used when the aircraft is on an active runway, whether it is departing the runway or the airport that it's at, or landing into the airport. Of course within 0 and 10,000 feet. Above 10,000 feet it's up to the pilots whether they want to turn it off or not. Very cool. Here we have the number 1 engine. I believe this is the number 1 engine in terms of the Rolls-Royce Trent XWB-84 engine. Of course the 97 engine would be on the 1000 variant. Very nice look inside the fan blades there. Very cool. Let's try and use the lighting that I have in my room to shine in there. Very cool. There is the vortex generator on the outside of the engine here. That is what is used to deflect any of the airflow against the leading edge on the wing, and this is what generates the vapor trail that goes over the wing when this aircraft is rotating out of an airfield. So very cool. And here is the blue nacelle of the aircraft, the engine cowling looking rather nice. Very cool. And there's an up close view of the engine exhaust. We have a nice look at this when we look at the bottom of the aircraft. Probably easier to look at it like that. Here is the landing gear. Very nice. As you can see, it does tilt on the axis quite freely, and whilst doing so that the gears do roll. There is the other one freely rolling on the axis as well. Here is the leading edge of the wing, looking rather nice. Let's try and get a nice focusing whilst up close. Very, very nice. This, of course, we're looking at the slats. Rather cool. And then we get to the end of the wing here. We see the red navigation light just there. And of course the strobe lights there as well. Of course the strobe lights for an Airbus aircraft flash twice in sequence. And of course whether this was a Boeing, it would flash once, of course. Very cool. Here is the exterior of the aircraft sharklet, looking rather cool. This of course is the second generation of the sharklet for the 350. Did this for the Singapore Airlines ULR variant. I'll put an image on the screen now for you guys to give you an indication in terms of the difference between the first, second and third generation of the 350 sharklet. Quite prominent once you know the differences. course, the second and third generations are quite taller and a lot slimmer. Here is the trailing edge of the wing here. Of course, we've got the spoilers and of course the flaps here as well. Very cool. Here we have the L3 door, not so much a boarding door, is mainly used as an emergency exit door. Here is another one of the antenna on top of the fuselage there. Moving down, we have the United States flag just here, and to the right of that we have the registration, as mentioned, November 527 Delta November. Very cool. Here we have another one of the antenna on top, and here we have the L4 door. Can be used as a boarding door. This mainly when it's of course boarding the aircraft via the apron, and of course those air stairs as well. Here we have the glorious looking tail fin with the nicely integrated silver widget logo on the tail fin, looking rather nice. Just trying to get a focus on it for you guys. There you go. I like how they've integrated this different style of widget on the tail fin here. Of course, here is the fleet number again on top of the 350's tail fin there. Very cool. Now we get to the elevators here. Here we have some details on the elevator, just like the trailing edge here as well. Here we have those small silver dots. They are the logo lights or the tail lights. They are there, as the name suggests, to light up the tail fin during either low light conditions or night operations, to give a visual indication of who the airline is to the ground crew who was servicing the airline, or other pilots within cockpits around or inside aircraft around the aircraft. Also can be used as a identification tool for the ATC, who are the people who are inside the control tower, to know who the airline is. Can be also used as a marketing tool for anyone within or around the airport as well. Plane spotters, general public alike, within the terminals or outside the perimeter as well. Here we have the exhaust for the APU, auxiliary power unit, and of course is an additional engine in between the two wings here underneath the tail fin. That of course is there to provide power to the systems on board the aircraft when the aircraft's engines are off. Very cool. And here you can just make out the outlining there of the APU inlet there. Very cool. Let's have a brief look at the opposite side of the aircraft to look at the minor differences that are on this side. Here we have an emergency escape hatch on the top of the cockpit there. That's there to provide a pathway for the captain and the co-pilot, or anyone who's in the pilot, a way to evacuate the aircraft when the cabin doors are unavailable to use during an emergency. Here we have the forward baggage compartment, if I'm able to give it a wee focus on it for you guys. There we go, looking rather nicely detailed there. To the rear of the aircraft, we can see the rear baggage compartment just here, looking wonderful as ever. Other minor differences: on this side we have the green navigation light, and this is the number 2 engine. Here we go, looking rather nice, the fan blades in there. They're basically the all of the differences. So let's go ahead and look at the belly of the aircraft. I like how Delta Airlines aircraft, much like United Airlines, have the aircraft designator on the bottom of the aircraft in terms of going to the nose. And of course, as you can see, it does have A350-900 there. Here we have the gear doors. Of course, there to provide a place for the nose gear to retract into. Very cool. Some other nice details here on the bottom of the fuselage here. Some air vents there, you can just make them out. In between the widget and the D of Delta Airlines, just in the middle of the shot there. Another one just there. The lighting is kind of making it difficult. Here we have the beacon light just there and the stand hole, and the white outlining of where the landing gear doors would be. That red outlining there is where the ram air turbine is. Of course, the rat, another one of those wind turbine like design devices that drop down below the fuselage during emergencies to provide power or assistance to the systems on board the aircraft, of course, to help the pilots on board to maintain control of the aircraft. Very cool. Here we have another look of the gears, looking rather nice. And then we get to the underside of the engine here. As I mentioned, a nicer view of the exhaust. Very cool and nicely done. Underside of the wing here, looking rather cool. An upside down view of the shark that there, looking cool. Here is the other wing. Then we get to the very tip of the fuselage, and of course is the entryway to the APU, auxiliary power unit. This of course gives a nice entryway to the people who are on the ground engineers, and an entrance way to the APU. Very cool. And that will pretty much do it for today's review of this Delta Airlines A350-900 wearing the centenary livery by Panda Models. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below about what you saw in today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up below. A great indication of how much you enjoyed today's video and of course the content here on this channel. If you like what you saw, want to come along and tune into more content like this, go ahead and subscribe below. Whilst you're there, go ahead and dim the bell icon. A great way to get the notifications as soon as the videos go live onto the channel. More content is on the way, in the works. More model reviews, more unboxings are coming out very soon. I think the next unboxing will be coming in, I think, either later on in this month or maybe in September. There'll be another one of those mega unboxings coming out very soon on the channel. And of course the airport update, random ops number 8 I believe is in the works as well, in the planning stages at least. So that will be coming on to the channel fairly soon as well. So if you want to come along and tune into that, subscribe and dim the bell icon. If you want to come along and tune into my whereabouts on social media, on the screen now will be the QR code leading you to my Instagram page for Ashton International Airport. That of course is the one place to go ahead and view the photographs of my model collection, and of course the ins and outs of the news about my airport operations, and of course we can get the updates in terms of my whereabouts here on social media, whether it is my YouTube channel here, which you're on at the moment, or my other Instagram pages, or my website as well. If you want to go ahead and check out all of my links in one full place, go ahead and scan the QR code you can see on the screen now. It will lead you straight to my Linktree page, which has all of my links in one full place for easier access as well. If you don't have the means to scan any of those QR codes, there are some links in the description below for easier access leading you to where you need to go as well. So go ahead and check them out if you wish to. Come along and support the journey on this channel as well. As I mentioned, leave a thumbs up, subscribe and dim that bell icon to come along to view more videos like this. Thank you very much guys for coming along and tuning in today's video. Comment below what you thought. Do you like this model? Do you like this livery? Let me know any thoughts below, any feedback that you have about what I can improve on in terms of my model reviews, or content that you want to see on this channel. If there's a model that I have in my collection that I haven't yet done a model review of, and you have any ideas in terms of content in general, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a dialogue down there, create a nice conversation as well. But yep, that would do it for today's video guys. Thank you very much for coming along and tuning into this video that I have here today, the model review of this Delta Airlines A350-900 by Panda Models wearing this stunning 100-year anniversary livery. If you enjoy what you saw and want to see some more on this channel, on the end screen soon enough will be some options for you guys. On the left hand side would be my most recent video here on this channel. On the right hand side would be the full list of model reviews I've done so far here on the channel. In the middle will be where you can subscribe. But until next time, guys, fly safe, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.